When I first started using the Redmi Note 12, I had some complaints and a few disappointments. But when Xiaomi revealed its price during the launch, my complaints disappeared and things became a lot clearer. While I still have some of these disappointments, it's hard to deny that the Redmi Note 12 offers great value for money and is probably the new budget king. Or is it? It's not every time you see a device with this spec capacity being priced around $120k, or should I say around $140. But first, let's be clear on something. If you look at the Redmi Note 12 from the perspective of it being an upgrade to its predecessor, you might find some disappointments and probably even consider it a downgrade. But from the perspective of the value it offers relative to its price, you are probably looking at the best value for money, provided MIUI stays stable. So I'll definitely be referencing both angles during the course of this review. Now, if you've previously watched this channel or other creators, you must have seen the Tecno 10 Pro being dubbed as the best value for money, and that was true for the most part, at least until the Redmi Note 12. Now, while you can get a Spark 10 Pro with 8GB of RAM and 128GB of storage still much cheaper, you really can't beat an AMOLED display, Snapdragon 685 and 120Hz refresh rate for 115k. Though the 120Hz is not 120, permit me to use that for lack of a better word. But let's talk about that later. As is the manner of Xiaomi when it comes to this region, what we're getting is the Redmi Note 12 4G, different from the Snapdragon 4 Gen 1 powered 5G version, which is probably not coming here. The Redmi Note 12 actually comes in 3 RAM options. There's a 6 or 8GB option which costs more, but all versions come with 128GB of storage, which I'd say is great and is also expandable by SD card. Mine is the base version, which is 4GB of RAM. As always, Redmi packages its phones with a charger and a case in the box. The Note 12 comes with a 33W fast charger. Design-wise, coming from the Note 11, you can see it's now flatter, much like the Pro versions last year. It gets matte finish on the rear, looks like glass, but I won't be dropping it to find out. It is much better than that mirror glass finish on the 12 Pro Plus. Earlier I mentioned that you might find some disappointments in comparison to the Note 11 from last year. Well, one of those is the lack of stereo speakers here. We only get a bottom-firing mono speaker with the Redmi Note 12, so lesser on speaker quality than its predecessor. It does get solid build quality still, offering Gorilla Glass 3 protection on the display, which is AMOLED and I'd say the best you can find for new devices at this price point. It gets 120Hz refresh rate, and while you want to say it's an upgrade from the 90Hz on its predecessor, I'm afraid right now that's only on paper. You only really feel its smoothness on maybe the settings app. It's kind of choppy everywhere else and doesn't feel as smooth. Not to the point of inconvenience though, and also not ruling out the possibility of it being just an issue with mine, probably because I have 4GB, who knows. Also, to be fair, this choppiness is not all the time. It has been buttery smooth sometimes too, just not consistently. Since I started using it, I've also encountered a few skips and freezes across the UI. Not frequent though, just occasional, but it just feels like MIUI being MIUI and not so stable sometimes. Its fingerprint scanner also occasionally shows slight delay to unlock, but most of the time it works just fine and fast. Everything else has worked fine for the most part, and I'd say these complaints are ignorable for the price of this phone and what it offers. For a phone priced the same as the Galaxy A14, offering an AMOLED display, a much better processor, I think it earns the spot far above in value for money. One thing I don't think I've mentioned about the display is the fact that the auto brightness doesn't actually work great. Sometimes it just goes all the way to the lowest brightness, making it difficult to see the display. Even when I increase the brightness, it just comes back down. Hopefully a software patch can fix that and not break anything else. Now, speaking of software, the Redmi Note 12 comes with Android 13 right out the box and MIUI 14. Aside a few glitches I've experienced, the software is okay. MIUI has its bloatware. Plenty of it actually, but nothing that gets too much in the way. With this high level of customization, you're still going to enjoy the MIUI experience. Also, we have split screen multitasking here. I find it quite weird that we still don't have Material U with MIUI 14. Not sure the hold up, but it could mostly be Xiaomi playing it safe until MIUI is stable enough to handle it. The Redmi Note 12 does not have NFC. I can't quite confirm, but I think the Note 11 had that. Probably not an issue though, as not very many people have use for it in this region, but Tecno Spark 10 Pro has it. So the Redmi Note 12 sports a Snapdragon 685, a 6nm processor, which is pretty much a refresh of the Snapdragon 680 on its predecessor. So no major improvements in performance, but you could argue that the 685 is a little more optimized. But the conclusion is, performance wise, you won't see anything major compared to the Note 11. Except for the few lags I experienced with the device, which can probably be attributed to MIUI, everything works fine and I can definitely still recommend it as the best option for its price. For gaming, the Note 12 Pro can handle it at low graphics and high frame rates, or high graphics and medium frame rates. Can't have both, and that's actually fair for this price point, unless you are buying one of the much older flagships. Attempts to play Call of Duty Mobile at very high graphics was not so smooth. Gameplay had noticeable lags and I didn't get smooth gameplay until I switched to low graphics and high frame rates. So if you're a Call of Duty gamer, you might want to manage your expectations with this one. Apex Legends can only go max at normal graphics and high frame rates. While the frame rate was consistent for the most part, gameplay is not entirely smooth. In a gaming session just over 30 minutes, I didn't experience any overheating. The battery capacity of the Redmi Note 12 is 5000 mAh, and in my experience so far, I've had no issues with it. It should last you at least a day of average to heavy use. It supports 33 watts fast charging and the charger comes in the box. In the camera department, not much has changed except the absence of the depth sensor, which is actually not one of the very useful ones. The image quality you get from its rear camera is satisfactory and I'd say HDR processing is on point. Night mode is not so great, so I won't count on it. The selfie camera is typical Redmi, soft until you turn off the default beauty filters and it's better. HDR on portrait selfies is not quite there. The Redmi Note 12 is able to shoot videos at max 1080p 30fps from both selfie and rear cameras, and I'd say the software stabilization is good.
Okay, hello YouTube, this is the Redmi Note 12 selfie camera, currently shooting at 1080p 30fps. That's the maximum you can do from both the selfie and the rear cameras. What are your thoughts on its video quality, its microphone quality, overall?
The Redmi Note 12, as I mentioned earlier in this video, is not really an upgrade from the Note 11, so it's probably not the device you want if you are looking to upgrade from that, but it is surely one of the better devices you can buy for its price point. It is great value for money as long as MIUI doesn't act up. You just have to manage your expectations. You can check here if you want to see what the Spark 10 Pro offers, or here to check out the Galaxy A14. That's all from me. Peace.